Okay, picture this. You've got two people working the exact same shift at a hospital in Columbus, Ohio. They have the same job title, they pull in the exact same $68,000 salary, and they get paid on the exact same Friday. The direct deposit hits. But by the following Thursday, worker A is completely broke. And I don't mean that metaphorically. I mean quietly declining a group dinner because there's only $40 left in the account until payday. Meanwhile, worker B just got back from a week in Portugal, has $19,000 quietly sitting in the bank, and honestly hasn't stressed about a bill in years. So what is the difference here? It isn't a secret inheritance and it's not some crazy side hustle. The actual difference between these two realities comes down to a simple 11-minute routine they run in the first 48 hours after their paycheck lands. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're breaking down the exact, updated, fully automated blueprint you can use to protect your paycheck and quietly build wealth. The rules of the financial game have shifted pretty dramatically recently, and what worked just a few years ago is largely outdated. So we're going to dive straight into the current numbers and the exact sequence you need to run to completely automate your financial life. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the paycheck paradox, look at the extraction layer, and then build your system in 3 phases: the defensive moat, free money, and the wealth engine. Finally, we'll tie it all together into an 11-minute machine. All right. Part 1, the paycheck paradox. Because as we're about to see, income definitely does not equal wealth. So the macroeconomic baseline right now, it's pretty grim. Inflation has bounced back up to 3.8% recently, mostly hitting us at the gas pump and the grocery store. The old rules have shifted and, well, nobody sent out a memo. Right now, a whopping 66%, that's 2/3 of all American adults, are living paycheck to paycheck. And we aren't just talking about low-income earners here. 2/3 of everyone. That means a massive chunk of the population is living with that quiet, corrosive dread of bank notifications, constantly doing mental math in the checkout line, and just praying that check engine light magically turns itself off. And this totally destroys the myth that this is just an income problem. Get this, a staggering 40% of people making over $300,000 a year also say they're living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, these are folks earning more in a single year than actual houses used to cost a decade ago, and they're still sweating the 28th of the month just like everybody else. If just making more money fixed this, it would have fixed it way before the 300 grand mark, right? So the really crucial point to understand here is that this is a behavioral issue, not a willpower issue. As this quote perfectly nails it, the difference between savers and non-savers mostly isn't about character or discipline. It's simply whether anyone removed the decision for them. Relying on your own willpower is honestly like hiring a terrible employee who shows up late and quits the second you have a bad day. Automation, though, automation never has a bad day. It doesn't care about flash sales, and it certainly doesn't get emotionally derailed by a rough Wednesday. Which brings us to section 2, the extraction layer. This is the machine specifically designed to take your paycheck. Before we can even think about saving, we really need to understand this industry that's built to quietly drain your money before you even make a conscious choice to spend it. Take earned wage access apps, for example. You know the ones, friendly, pastel-colored apps with cute little mascots that offer to spot you $100 of your own paycheck a few days early. They just ask for a tiny fee, or maybe a quick tip. But when regulators actually crunch the numbers, they found the average effective APR of these tip-based advance apps is an absolutely unhinged 334%. That is the exact same predatory rate as a sketchy neon sign payday lender. It's just wearing a friendlier outfit. It's a treadmill designed to keep you 2 weeks behind forever. And man, it gets worse with credit cards. The average APR on new credit card offers recently hit a historic 23.79%. If you carry a balance and only pay that minimum 2% they ask for, you aren't just paying it off slowly. That minimum payment is precision engineered to drag your debt out for up to 30 years, costing you tens of thousands in interest alone. The industry literally refers to customers who pay their balance in full as deadbeats. Why? Because their absolute dream customer is the one trapped in minimum payment servitude. Then you have the granddaddy of them all, the overdraft fee. You're $4 short on a coffee, your bank goes ahead and approves it anyway, and then bam, hits you with a $35 fee. That is functionally a $35 fee for a $4 3-day loan. Throw in buy now, pay later buttons, which, by the way, are currently causing nearly half of their users to miss payments, and you really start to see the picture here. Every single fee exiting your account is literally a piece of your future being stolen. Our goal today is to put you in line ahead of these guys. So let's move into phase 1, the defensive moat. Steps 1 to 3. Let's start building our machine to fight back. Step 1 is know your number. You just need to take 30 minutes one time and calculate your true, unglamorous monthly cost of existing. Rent, groceries, bills, the whole shebang. Oh, and move your bill due dates to right after payday so you aren't playing any stressful timing games. Step 2 is pay yourself first. Jump into your HR portal and set up a direct deposit split. This way, a percentage of your check routes straight to savings before you even lay eyes on it. And step 3, build a starter emergency fund of $1,000 to $2,500 in a high-yield savings account, earning around 4%. Look, this catch isn't there to make you rich. It's a moat. It totally blocks the extraction layer so a flat tire doesn't suddenly turn into 334% debt.
Moving right along to phase 2, free money, steps 4 to 5. All right, this is where we captured guaranteed returns and put out the most expensive financial fires in your life. Step 4 is capturing the employer match on your 401k. If your employer offers a match, that is mathematically a guaranteed 50 to 100% instant return on your money. You're beating the stock market with zero risk. Skipping this is literally refusing a free raise. So capture every single penny of that match. Once you've got that, step 5 is using all your remaining surplus to kill any high-interest debt over 8%. We're talking about strangling that 23% credit card debt by automating aggressive payments every single month. Now we're talking. Phase 3, the wealth engine. Steps 6 to 9. Now we get to shift from defense to offense, focusing on investing and actually outrunning inflation. Let's look at a quick example. Meet Saver A. They start at age 25, invest $5,000 a year for 10 years, and then stop completely at 35. So they invested $50,000 total. Now meet Saver B. They start at 35 and invest $5,000 a year for 30 straight years, putting in $150,000 total. So who wins? Well, Saver A finishes with $92,000 more. It's crazy, right? Starting 10 years earlier mathematically destroys investing 3 times as much money later in life. When it comes to compounding, your early dollars are basically your most senior employees. Keeping that timeline in mind, let's look at the actual chronological investment steps. Step 6 is expanding that starter cash into a full emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. In a 2026 job market that's heavily impacted by AI, a solid emergency fund buys you crucial time to find the right next job. Step 7 is maxing the HSA. Step 8 is funding the Roth IRA. And step 9 is circling back to max out that 401k. Let's zoom in on those middle two really quick.
So step 7 is the HSA, or health savings account. And honestly, it's the closest thing to a legal cheat code in legitimate finance. If you have a high-deductible health plan, this account gives you a triple tax advantage. The money goes in untaxed, it grows untaxed, and it comes out untaxed for medical expenses. If you invest the balance in index funds and just pay your minor medical bills out of pocket, it functionally becomes a stealth retirement account completely untouched by the IRS. Moving to steps 8 and 9, here are the updated 2026 policy limits you need to know about. The Roth IRA limit is now $7,500, which gives you incredible flexibility to basically buy future tax-free money. The 401k limit bumped up to $24,500. And there's also the new Trump 529 seed program, which provides a $1,000 deposit for kids born between 2025 and 2028. Purely from an objective financial standpoint, this is an available vehicle that you really shouldn't leave on the table if you qualify for it. Finally, Section 6, the 11-minute machine and guilt-free spending. So how does this actually look in the real world when it's fully operational? Let's look at a fictional case study, Jordan. Jordan makes a median salary of $62,000 a year. He spent just one Saturday setting up his pipe. Now his 401k grows completely unseen right through payroll. His direct deposit automatically funds a high-yield savings account and little sinking funds that catch those fake emergencies. You know, things like annual car registration or Christmas. Plus, he gets paid bi-weekly, which means twice a year he gets a third bonus paycheck in a single month, and he routes those entirely to his biggest current financial priority. The total maintenance for this completely flawless system, it takes him about 11 minutes every other Friday. And this leads us to the absolute ultimate payoff of this entire system. Once the pipe exists, once your future is automatically funded and that extraction layer is firmly blocked, whatever is left in your checking account is yours. You can spend it completely guilt-free on whatever brings you joy. No budgeting spreadsheets, no stressful latte math, and absolutely no shame. Your wealth-building brain and your spending brain finally have their own separate piles of money. So I'm going to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought. Your next paycheck is already on its way right now. The extraction machine, those 334% apps, and the 24% credit cards, they are already standing in line waiting for it. The only question is whether this time something of yours is standing in line first. Will you let the machine drain your check, or are you going to build the pipe today? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.